Building the spaceship was, well, it was hard for me because I have never built pretty much anything before. I had no clue how we were going to go about doing that, and this was a much bigger job than we kind of were imagining in some way, even though we really ended up building one room of a spaceship and just moving pieces around to make it look different. But yeah, Allie Grimes was our designer, our production designer, so she did a lot of work. I mean, I don't even know how long she spent on it. It was probably many, many, many late hours. There was just so much going into that project. And then Clayton, he was not even down technically for set design or anything to start out with. He was just going to be editing and lighting. Well, he really stepped up and for a lot of the carpentry of the set. And then there were other people who originally weren't signed up who came in and helped us a bunch. Chelsea Willis and Autumn Freeman. Yeah, it was hard though, because we spent several nights, people were up to like 2 a.m. working on this thing, and then, you know, we barely got it done in time for production. So it was hard, but it was very rewarding. We originally were going to paint it with spray paint, and I found out the hard way that you can't paint the set with a few cans of spray paint. So we used that for accents, and we went over to some regular paint. So it was kind of weird. I just made lots of trips to Walmart and did lots of shopping, which is not a normal thing for me. Shoot from a lower angle.
This is where I start singing, "Starships were meant to fly."
Jeff, reference the time, it's 10 o'clock right now.
You and I defying gravity. Let's see, what others?
Working on the music with the composer was kind of a new experience for me. It was more like kind of the real way you do it. Our composer Sarah would send me like partially done tracks and to see if we're going in the right direction. We'd talk about what the mood for the scene is, how long the track needs to be, instrumentation, all of that. And it was kind of hard for me to start out with because I don't know that much about music. I'm not a very musical person, but we were able to work in a way that, you know, she would take the technical aspects and I would just kind of, you know, give some general pointers about the vision. But and then I think it's turning out really well, and it'll be really cool to have that complex of a track of music for our film.
Paparazzi hiding among the bushes and stalking our favorite actors. Mine's Logan. He's the best. He is the most famous man I know.
Yes.
Paparazzi!
The night shoot was painful for everyone. I think we got fantastic footage in the end, and everyone persevered and did what it takes to get it done. But I mean, this is the scene where Logan confronts Steven's character. Christopher confronts Colden, and Logan's costume at that point consists of jeans and a very loose-fitting shirt. And at that point, I think it was at like the coldest night so far that year, this year, and it had just snowed recently, and we were shooting. Yeah, it was November, I think, and we were shooting outside at night for hours, and Logan's standing there in that shirt, just freezing to death. But he has to be there for the whole shoot because Logan's the main character. So we're all, you know, as the crew, or we're all bundled up. As a director, I'm like, have a scarf covering most of my face, and Logan's standing there in like a shirt. So, but he was a trooper. He pushed through it all and did some great acting anyway. And all the costumes aren't that warm. Steven was in just a suit, and Cheyenne was in like a dress kind of thing, and she had to lay on the ground in the snow. The most memorable moment is when we put the fake blood on Cheyenne's wrists for her death scene, and when she got up from the scene, it was dripping off of her arm, but it froze in icicles on her arm. So there's 2 little hanging drops of blood that were frozen, and that kind of shows what the actors went through on this take. So yeah, it was probably a bonding experience for them. They probably weren't very fond of me afterwards, but and then Jimmy Stump showed up halfway through because he wasn't able to make it right away, but when he showed up, he helped me a lot with organizing because I'm not an organized person. That's just not how I think that well, and I have a hard time, putting all the pieces together sometimes. And when Jimmy showed up, he helped get things rolling, and that was fantastic for me. But Tyler and Jacob and everyone at the shoot were just doing so much. So yeah, it was fantastic, and that location worked out really well in the end. We thought it wasn't going to be. Well, we were disappointed that we couldn't film at the graveyard, but it ended up working out really well in front of the schoolhouse right here in Spring Arbor. So,
No. There's only two people I would do this for: Jordan Kuat and Joe.